And all. Hope you're having a fabulous Wednesday, had a fabulous week, and things are going good for you in the midst of the crisis. Want to hear about all of your aquariums? And we are here to share in the aquarium and seahorse communities, along with answering any questions that you might have. Or just come, grab your glass, and join us to chat. Hi, Ray. Let's just
I'm
start
not
with it.
live on
Oh,
YouTube.
let's see. I got that we were, but we'll check real
Facebook's
quick.
up.
Sorry, guys, one sec. Let me just make sure we're actually live.
Facebook's up, but
Okay. Let
I'll
me.
review this Seahorse Whisper or on YouTube to see if it makes a
We're
difference.
we're live. Promise. So,
Uh,
okay.
okay,
All right. But thank
I'll
you.
have to mute it when it loads.
Okay. Well,
Is it-
thank you for I can, thank you for
oh,
checking though, Ray. I appreciate that you're on top of it. And we discussed, I'm going to catch up with Ray. We'll see how he's doing in just a second. But I did a post this week talking about the new Facebook Messenger group chat type thing. And we are going to try that next week. So watch for the post so that everyone knows where to find us in case I'm debating. Actually, I want your input because I was thinking that maybe many of you want to join, have some questions, or even experienced people want to share their opinions or their experiences, but maybe, just maybe, you guys aren't as adventurous as Ray and Dan and don't want to go on video or go live. We do have some technical errors sometimes, so I'm not going to say I blame you. But so the thing about this group chat within Seahorse Sources group, if we do it there, is that you would be live within the group, but it wouldn't be broadcast all over. So let me know if that would make you more comfortable in joining, or if you like it streamed everywhere for everyone to see later. We could do it either way, but I am going to try it next week. I will make sure that you have a post at least 2 days prior. So look Sunday, Monday-ish for a post about where and how to join, but I'm going to make it super simple. And Ray, I'll tell you on the side just to be sure, so we can test it. But
just curious,
yeah,
when you do this Messenger rooms thing,
hmm
do you have the YouTube running at the same time like right now?
that's what I'm asking all of you in the audience, and even you too, Ray, is that we could just not do it. Here's my two ideas. I'll keep it simple, and then anyone who's joined, I'll get to your questions in just a sec. Um, Idea number one, or A, is that we do the Seahorse meet room chat, whatever, within Seahorse Sources group. It would not be live on YouTube, but maybe we could do it a little earlier or however we want to do it. The bottom line is we could do it within the group so that people could join, and then they could say, I don't want my part streamed or whatever, and I could stream a summary of that later on YouTube, but it wouldn't be live. Idea two, or B, is that we could continue in this fashion, but do it within Seahorse Sources group using the room, and I would just stream it to YouTube so that YouTube could see and ask questions too. But again, then that would kind of defeat the purpose of anybody wanting to contribute but not wanting to be seen. Again, though, just to remind everyone, you can join via the Hangouts link right now and turn off your camera. So if you just are, worried about being seen or whatever, you can join and not ever show your face. You could do that now, but it might be a little bit more comfortable and easy within Seahorse Sources group. It would also attract, more people. So let me know what you guys think of this. If it would be more easy for people and more comfortable if it wasn't streamed everywhere. And again, anyone watching on YouTube, we'll still stream something. We'll stream a summary or something. We're never going to leave you out. But just let me know what you think, and we'll go from there. So Ray, the answer to your question is maybe and kinda. you know, we can really do whatever we want, and I'm gonna play with a few ideas, but it's really, we're doing this for the community. So whatever's good for you guys is good for me. So let me know what you think. Anyways, Ray, while I check comments, how are things with you? Hey,
It's been a
Sultan.
rough day.
Oh, what's going on?
Well, went to the grocery store yesterday to get my curbside order and turned off the van. And after I got loaded up, wouldn't start.
Oh no, that's no fun.
So I pulled the battery cables out, and somebody, while I was pulling the cables out, somebody pulled up, saw me with the cables, and offered to give me the boost, and so got boosted, and I came home, and I still have my big battery charger from when I used to have garages myself,
Mm,
and so I put it on. I've been using this for a while on this battery. It's an original battery in a 2010 Caravan. So it's 10 years old, the battery. But for the
mm.
last 6 years, I've been nursing the battery along. Well, it finally got to the point where I couldn't nurse it anymore. Now, because I couldn't sit and wait for a curbside pickup to get the battery, because I had an appointment for my dog to get groomed this afternoon,
Mm.
I ended up having to walk 2.5 kilometers to get to the store to get the battery.
Oh no.
Another 2.5 back. Well, in that terms, it's roughly about 2.5 kilometers, about 1.6 miles.
Jeez. And you're, well, I mean, you're one of the people that really shouldn't be out and about. So
Yeah, I know, but I have my mask on and the face shield as well.
good.
And then when I got to the store there, instead of going through the store, I went through the service department because the batteries are right at the service department.
Hmm.
And then I had my rollator with the platform on it, and so people knew that I had some problems of some kind. And uh, the checkout that's right beside the batteries, the big line up there, people let me in, and so I wasn't in the store more in about 15 minutes.
Good. I'm
So
glad to hear.
there's a lot of kind people around like that.
It's that's the one positive thing about all of this is the kindness that we've seen come from so many different areas. I couldn't agree more. And I really do completely understand your battery issue because remember we went through this just like 2 weeks ago where car batteries, you try to put it off and then it just doesn't work out. But I'm glad you're home safe. So you got everything and you got your dog groomed and you got
I was
home.
about 5 minutes late for the grooming appointment
Hmm.
for my dog, but now he looks good again. It's been 3 months since he had a grooming,
Sure.
but they just opened up last week for the groomers here.
Gotcha.
And normally she doesn't work on Wednesdays, but because things are all changed now, she can't do multiple dogs and
Right.
have multiple people in. You can't even go into her shop. You have to go to the door. She has to unlock the door and take the dog, and
Yeah.
uh, then you come back when she gives you a call and tells you when to come. And
I want to talk about that more regarding it, kind of bring it back to the which we care. Again, guys, Wine Wednesday is about us in the community coming together. So anything that you want to share or talk about, we're here for you. If we see seahorse questions or aquarium questions, we're going to jump to that. Otherwise, we're just waiting for your questions, comments, and sharing of experiences. But I do want to talk about something that's related to the industry that I noticed along the lines of what you're saying. But I saw Dan just joined. Hello, sir. How are you?
You're confused. It was someone else.
No. Yes. Everybody has that gorgeous seahorse as a what's it called, face or whatever profile. You're right. How's the bike, sir?
It's fine.
Are you still loving it?
Yeah, I took the bloody safety course this weekend.
Mm.
Got,
And
got, well, it was long.
sure.
Um, 5 hours in a saddle both days, besides the classroom. Tried to trade my behind on a new one. It was sore and had a big crack in it.
Mm.
But I went down to DMV this morning, um, 5 minutes before opening, to get in line, and there was already 100 people standing in line.
Oh my gosh. Really?
Yep.
Wow. But you got through it.
it's the
No,
same here.
I turned around and went home.
You did, really?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have all day to stay there. Um,
Sure.
it's been closed for a while, so now that they've opened back up, they're backlogged and they're short on staff. So,
I was gonna say it's such a shame that BMV and places like that had just gotten to a place where I could say, "Hey, they're doing a good job again," you know. And now it's back to hour long waits and such. Ugh.
Well, I don't blame it on them
No,
specifically,
right, right.
but it's just I know the routine, and you know that was standing outside. They already had people inside, so if just the inside is full, it's a 2 or 3 hour wait.
Oh, yeah,
Um, I said the heck with this and turned around and went home.
right.
I guess I need a sleeping bag to get there when they first open.
Yeah, no kidding. Or like be up at the crack of before dawn. Craziness. Again, last time I'm going to say it, guys. I don't mean to keep repeating myself, but I've had a lot of requests and topics that you want discussed, and I always tell people to come to Wine Wednesday, jump into the comments or jump into the stream and ask these questions. The second we hear a Seahorse question, we're going to jump to it. I just don't want people to be confused. We talk about lots of fun stuff and care about our community members and share, but you got a question, please ask it. All right. Sorry about that.
I have
Dan,
a question.
yes, sir.
I sent you a link. Did you get it?
Just now?
No, I sent it, I don't know, a day or two ago.
Email or
I think I did it on Messenger.
I'll go look. But tell me what.
An automated dwarf tank.
Oh, wow.
You wouldn't believe the thought that has gone into that thing.
Really? Well, I'm actually
Guy-
going to look
This
now.
guy's from R2R.
Reef to reef, right? Mm-hmm.
His name is Jerry Gunn, and he's a retiree like me, but not as old. And he has so many great ideas. And while other people aren't going to put the effort into a tank that he has done, because it's a real project
Mm.
and expensive for a dwarf tank. But I was so impressed with it, and I started looking at the ideas and figured, you know, there might be something there that somebody could use for conventional seahorses
Mm.
for wanting to go away for a week or two at a time and not have somebody to take care of it. And
I'm looking at it right now. Go on, Ray. Sorry.
so, like, it's phenomenal. And if you look right at the very end of it, at the bottom of it, he's got a picture with numbers on it, itemizing all the things there and telling you what they are. But through the specifications and that he puts out, he's explaining everything that he's done. Now, for me, with my cognitive impairment, I had to ask him quite a few questions just so I understood it fully.
Right.
Uh, I was quite impressed at what he's done in there, and I'm pretty sure that if enough seahorse people start looking at it, it's going to give somebody somewhere an idea, and we're going to end up with a solution for holidays.
Awesome. Well, you know what? As soon as we're done, now that I've looked at it and found the link, I will post that link as soon as we're done in the comments, and I'll share it on the page too, and share it around in as many groups as I can. Because, most of the systems that are set up that way, and Dan, I'm going to let you give your 2 cents in a moment. Usually, just the risks outweigh the benefits for me, but this does look different, really different. So I'm going to take a closer look and share it later. What do you usually think about automated systems, Dan? Or did you see this article perchance?
No, I have not, so I'll refrain from commenting on that.
Fair enough.
To date, the only truly successful systems I've seen have been very large systems with very light stocking density.
Gotcha. Well, I'm going to share the link when we're done, and then we can maybe chit chat about it next week. I'm sorry, Ray, I didn't see it, so I really apologize. But thank you for bringing it up, and I'll look. And I agree that if it's as well put together as you're saying, it could definitely lead to something, and might be very interesting and helpful. So thanks.
I think the only thing he's posted on so far is there's a dwarf seahorse forum or group on Facebook.
Yep.
And he put it up on that one. But other than that, I'm going to put it up on Dan's group and
Sure.
also on the Solutions group, just for people to have some thoughts on.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'll be right there sharing with you for sure. Sounds good. Speaking of your group, Dan, I mentioned that next week we're gonna because I finally saw your message also saying it was that you gave permission to try the room thing. but I didn't want to try to throw it together at the last minute. So I just announced that we're going to try it next week, and I'll make sure there's a post up explaining and telling people about it before Monday. So just letting you know where we're at with that. But how is the group doing? Have you? I know you've been so busy. I really do understand. Have you seen anything interesting lately?
No, not really. I have been busy and going to continue to be busy here for
Sure.
a bit.
Are you still doing well? As I mean, are you still? I saw a post that said, something about the website being down and etc. Are people still able to contact you to buy seahorses currently?
Yeah, they got to contact me direct though.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make
I'm
sure.
shipping some almost every week. Not many. I ship anywhere from 1 to 3 orders every Wednesday, and that's about it.
Okay. Well, just as long, I mean, just so we don't send people over there if you're not. um, all right, guys. Well, I do want to talk about the article I saw, but what else? Is there anything else you guys want to share to begin with, or no? Yay. Dan, anything else going on with you, Ray?
Nope, nothing new.
Okay. Well, then, I happened to see, Ray, we were talking earlier about kind of a similar topic, and I happened to see right before coming to do the stream that the California Academy of Sciences just announced that even though they got like over 8 million in government assistance to keep everyone employed, come June, that money's gone, and because of the fact that we're opening so slowly, and their business relies so much on visitors and such, that they're going to have to do layoffs anyways. And it's not complete layoffs; it's very well thought out. They're doing what they can, and I get it. But I'm just wondering, where we're going wrong, or how we could resolve this. Do you know what I mean? It made me
Well,
so sad because I
up to
for,
everybody.
I'm so sorry, Ray. I forgot to mention one more thing. Is that Graham Short, who came on this channel quite a few times? He's the one that's been involved in the latest two species. Of one was pygmy, and yeah, I think both were pygmy actually. But he's doing all this great work, and he's with them too. So, just go ahead, Ray. What were we gonna say?
It's just like up here in Canada, we have the same problem. Like everybody wants help,
Yeah,
but the thing is, you have to draw the line somewhere. At some point in time, we all have to pay for this,
yeah,
whatever's going out, and you can't just give everybody what they want, and even what they need. Like there just isn't enough money around to be able to do that, and still have a viable economical society afterwards.
sure.
So somebody has to make hard decisions, and there's going to be a lot of people go out of business, and I can't see any way
Jobless.
around it. The unfortunate part is there's usually a bunch of people that don't really deserve it that end up getting the majority of the benefit, and
Sure.
but that's life, and it doesn't matter. It's whatever the situation is. There's always people that or companies that end up better off than everybody else.
Well, I was just gonna say on the behalf of the academy, that they posted a report and showed that like they're doing everything they can to make sure the jobs of anyone that make under 75,000 a year are preserved. Like they're trying, and like the main people are taking a 15 and 20% pay cut. So I mean they're really trying, and I see that, but it's just it's devastating to think of how much we're not going to be able to do while the economy slowly reopens. I know we got to be safe. I don't know. Any thoughts, Dan? Or
I don't know. I'm almost to the point now to where I feel
I
like I
know,
want to just start ignoring the news.
I know.
Um, my problem is that if everything was above board and everything was reported accurately and not based on political bias, I'd probably have a different viewpoint. But I've listened to some of the experts that aren't well publicized, that have complained that the numbers are super inflated. We've had a sudden instant drop off of influenza, and they're saying that a lot of these people that they're saying are coronavirus or actually influenza. They're not being tested to prove what they are.
Right.
Um, and some of the people, if you've got any signs of coronavirus, if you die from something else, it doesn't matter. You're listed as a coronavirus victim. So, there's a question on that. And I do believe that, this is a very bad disease, don't get me wrong. And I do believe it's devastating to some people. And I can say from experience, it's very scary when you have it. But, you know, I think if they knew
Right.
what they know now when this all first started, I don't know that we would have gone into the lockdown that we've gone into.
Yeah.
And, I think things would be a whole lot different. And I'm just, I'm really shocked at how much pushback there is to, you know, open some of the, not everything, but open some of these things up. I mean, some of the extremes that I hear, you can go to the beach, but you have to wear a mask on the beach. And of all places, that's probably one of the better places. Not, you don't have to worry about a mask, but you can't go in the water. I guess the coronavirus will get you if you go in the water. I mean,
Really? Well,
there's a lot of stupid rules, and some of these rules affect people. And I feel for some of these small businesses. I was lucky because I worked with a company that was considered an essential business, and we didn't have to shut down like so many others. And I'm
but
seeing firsthand some people that are really, really devastated by what's happened.
sure. And even in your company's situation or the company you work for situation, um, did you notice a slow in business at least at some point because you had to do things a different way?
No,
Or no?
no. What
Okay, good.
happened to us? We're a feed store, so the animals
Right,
have to be fed.
right,
Now, we did see a drop off. We're also a hardware store, so we did see a drop off on some things. The basic feed stayed steady. Well, actually, there was a 2 week burst in it where people were stocking up, and then we had 2 weeks where it was slow while
sure.
the supplies dwindled back down. But for the most part, it's been steady. When we were doing curbside service, we didn't get the add-ons with the sales where people would come in and browse around and not just get their feed, but pick up a couple of other
Right.
items. So those numbers dropped some, but we're pretty much steady where we expect to be and should have been, with or without this ever happening. So,
Thank
you
goodness.
know, you know, yeah, for the owner's sake, I'm very happy because I don't think she could have withstood having to have if we'd have closed up for 2 months, she'd have been a shutdown.
Yeah. And a lot of people are facing that. And I'm really curious after seeing the Academy do this. I'm right there with you guys, and that's why I keep saying, got any Seahorse questions? Because I certainly don't want to continue to visit the things that we see along the news all day, every day either. I'm over it too. But I see something like that, and it just really makes me wonder, like, even with the restaurants and such, if they have to, they're opening, yeah, good for them because they need to, for, they can't stay open without it, but they're saying only at half capacity, or I just don't know. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'd like to hear other
Well,
people's thoughts on it.
it's going to be very tough for some of these restaurants because some of them are having to do 25% capacity.
Right,
With the way that they're having to space things out and divide things out, and most of these restaurants need full capacity to turn a profit.
right.
So, I
Yeah.
don't know what's going to happen there. I look at the gyms and I look at some of the other, I went to, this weekend was a great example. My daughter and I went to go stock up. We were going to Sam's to load up, and we had to stop. We were going to stop by Home Depot and pick up a couple of items as we're trying to redo the kitchen. And I pulled up and we got out of the car, and as we were walking up, there was a line that was half the length of the building of Home Depot, people waiting to get in the store.
Mm-hmm.
And we just turned around, got back in the car. We went to Sam's. There was no line.
Hmm.
Um, the place was packed.
Yeah.
It's not every business is doing things the same way. There's nothing consistent with what I see going on.
Right. And I've heard a lot of complaints about the differences between states too. And as you just pointed out within stores, but I don't know. Hi, Sam. I just saw you come in and comment. Curious what it's like in Australia right now. Chris came on last week and was talking with us, but would love to hear how it's going in your area and how you're doing, and anything you want to share about seahorses. I feel bad to keep going down this line of talk, but um, yeah, I don't know. I hear everything you just said and I agree. It all worries me, and I really hope we find some answers. The thing is though, I just keep going back to the entire point of at least the US lockdown was to make sure the hospitals could handle it. They never like thought that it was going to fix things. You know what I mean? There was never any
Right.
theory that, oh, by staying locked down we're all going to stay safe and nobody's going to get it. That was never the point. The point was to make sure the hospitals could withstand, and then try to protect the most likely to be harmed by it. So I'm just kind of at this point, I'm really really worried about the economy. I don't want to keep going on about it, but I'm pretty darn worried. And I'm trying to go into the tech industry myself, and I see that they're cutting rates, cutting pay, cutting jobs, and I'm sure we've had crises before. We'll get through it. It'll come through. But even Sean's job, he can't go back to work until the Canadian border opens. You know what I'm saying? Or he won't. It's not. You know, his job deals with the transportation and customs, and until they open and the factories are able to ship stuff.
Yeah, but there's also the flip side, and as was pointed out by Ray, there are people that are taking advantage of it. Obviously, there's some companies that
Sure.
are profiting from it, but I know somebody in the industry that um, relies on a wholesaler to drop ship. Well, the wholesaler has a problem because they shut down, and the employees are making a lot more money on unemployment than they would if they go back to work. So he can't open back up properly because he can't get his people back in.
Right.
And it's put a serious hurt on the other person because they were counting on the wholesaler, and now they're having to open up their own warehouse again just to be able to get back into business.
I mean, you're absolutely right. As you were talking, I was thinking of an article I found. I was trying to figure out what I did with it because I certainly saved it. I don't want to quote an article I can't find, and I don't want to make you guys wait, but I read about suppliers and supply chains and how, like, you get down to the basics. Like in countries where in the aquarium industry, they're the collectors and the original fishermen that are barely getting paid as it is. They can't handle all of the regulations going on and the extra shipping costs and all this stuff. And so I'll look for the article and try to link it afterwards, guys. But I don't know. I definitely don't want to keep going on the gloom and doom. But I just always wonder what you guys think, because this stuff is what's been worrying me, and I don't have any answers. But I saw Sam said in Australia right now, where she lives, all the borders are still closed, and she had, oh, I saw your post, Sam, where she had to get an exemption just to travel to the closest LFS, and as there are none in a 4-hour drive. Okay, wait. Oh, but your LFS is only 80 kilometers, but it's quarantined, right? Is that what it said? Can't read it.
Queensland.
Queensland. Thank you, Dan. Sorry. But yeah, here only essential businesses were open up until about 2 weeks ago. Restrictions are being relaxed differently by different states. Queensland border is expected to be closed till September. Oh my gosh. I can't even imagine if they said we were staying closed till September. I understand that everything hit you guys later, but wow. How would anybody survive that? Are you guys in a just different situation, or yikes? Okay, well, wow. I don't even know what to say about that. I'm glad to hear you're doing okay though. Um, yeah, I got nothing on that. I did want to go back really quickly before if anybody has anything else to say, feel free. But I wanted to go back really quickly because I saw a few questions we missed. Dan, have you had any fry from the minis yet?
I have, but I haven't raised them.
Okay. And he asked if you had raised them, would they be normals or minis?
They should be normal.
So breeding them or raising them, rearing them would be pretty much the same as.
Yeah, well, the one feedback that I've gotten from some of my customers is the fry appear to be larger because they're having smaller batches.
Mm. Okay, so the smaller seahorse is having fewer babies, but they're big.
Right.
Gotcha. Any thoughts on why that is?
Yeah, it's kind of like the dwarf seahorse. They have small batches, but because they're smaller batches, there's more resources given to the fry.
No, I totally get it, but I mean, is all that based on size? Because while you bred them to be, what are they called? I always forget the darn name, minis. They're still actually erectus. So is it just their size that affects it? Is that it?
I think so. Nature's got a funny way of dealing with things. Unlike us humans who are gluttons,
Right.
nature has a way of balancing things out. And um, I think what happens is less eggs are produced, or the male takes less eggs and ends up with smaller batches.
Well, I mean, it does make sense. You got a smaller pouch, you got a smaller everything. Yeah. So interesting though. And they asked if you had any minis left, and
Yep, I still have some.
okay, so there you heard it here. He's got minis left. And Troy said he had a few that he of his own that he thought were runts until he saw the minis. I'll just remind everyone that Dan actually bred these guys on purpose. Is there any difference though, Dan, when someone gets an accidental or they didn't do it on purpose, very small seahorse?
I'm sorry, one more time. I'm
Sorry,
trying to understand.
you bred them purposefully and you use secrets that you never tell us, any of us, to breed them on purpose to be minis. But when someone, a hobbyist or whatever, whose seahorses have fry, if a few happen to be small, is there nothing wrong with them? Are they technically minis? They just didn't get the same.
Well, I guess there's multiple ways to look at it. One could say they're technically minis, but in most litters of most especially large quantities like seahorses have, you have some that grow to be very large very quickly, and you have others that are stunted or runts, if you will, and then of course you have the majority in between. Um, in this case, the whole, it was, I think, two, maybe three litter total of three litters that I had that were all essentially, I guess you could say, three litters of runts.
But now when you call them runts or minis, there's nothing wrong with them though. They're not
No, no,
okay. I
no,
just wanted to
no.
be clear because sometimes dog runts or
I these guys are now over a year old.
awesome.
Um, the largest ones that I still have are now at almost 4.5. A couple of them are approaching 5 inches, and yet I still have some that are 2.5 to 3 inches.
So cool.
Um, I would expect an erectus at this age to be somewhere in the 5 to 6 inch range
Right.
for a male, for males and females on average, with some of the males being 6 plus.
Right, exactly. And actually, I just have to say that I might have to get with you on the side. I said this when you started selling them, and then I got distracted by everything here. But the thought of having smaller batches, fewer fry that might even be healthier because of the resources really appeals to me. Because one of the things I like to do with my seahorses is breed them, and I think it'd be a lot easier, in my mind at least, to do that with a smaller batch. Does that make sense? Sound reasonable? At a hobbyist level, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be it could be reasonable. I'm thinking about turning some of these guys into I can't even say it now. Jesus, I'm tired.
I'm sorry.
Piebalds.
Oh yeah? Oh wow. That'd be really cool. See, I think it's really neat when experienced breeders do this kind of thing. Very, very cool. Um, Let me know when you do. Wink, wink. So, any other questions that you've gotten recently about them, or no? Guess not. Okay. Well, while he's answering another question, I'm going to say I also saw Salty Reef. Hello. and you asked how the website was coming. To be completely honest, I've been so wrapped up in finishing work on an application with my brother that I haven't even worked on it. I'm so sorry, but it's sitting there ready to go. Just some UI tweaks and fixes that need to be done. And then if you were still interested in, using it for your business or whatever, or, even just sharing articles, then let me know and I can set that up so that you can access it and do whatever you want with it. So that's the answer there. I'm sorry you don't have anything to report. Still working though. It's still there. All right, and then we talked to Sam. Did I miss anything else, guys, that we needed to talk about? Nope. What now?
Mermaid Reef.
Right, Mermaid's Reef? He's talking about mini piebalds. Yes. And you have some piebalds, don't you? I think. Could be wrong, but yeah, that would be very cool. So, and Sam, I see Sam's agreeing with my point about more robust fry and fewer, because that was my big thing. Is that when I got going, I would have, I had like 6 pairs at one point, and when they'd have fries, sometimes at the same time, and I'm trying to keep them separate, and I'm trying to, figure out where to put all these dang things. It was just a lot for someone at home. That's professional scale, and I just wasn't there. So I'm just wondering if it would be easier, because I'd love to get back into it on a low level. But anyhow, and Sam, I'm curious to you if you've heard anything. I said I was going to link an article when we're done, but I'm curious if you've heard anything about like the supply chain in the aquarium industry, and the suppliers having issues with all of this shutdown and such. So let me know. Anyways, what else do we need to discuss, guys? I wanted to make tonight kind of short, because next week we're going to try the rooms. But Ray, was there anything else besides the dwarf thing that you wanted to? How are your seahorses actually? No new,
No, nothing.
same old, and they're all
Yeah,
still good.
same old, same old.
I,
But the thing is, how can I complain about that?
right. Hey,
I
good.
had so many years of it wasn't same old, same old. Well, the same old was there, but it was a case of losing them.
Right. No, yeah, I know exactly. Status quo is good for seahorse people, for absolute sure. And I'm still just so impressed, to share that not even a month ago you were talking about having troubles with pouch emphysema, and now your seahorses, yay. So
I don't know whether that BioBandage actually did it or whether it's just something coincidental. But I
still,
don't have the problem anymore.
hey, that's what matters, and just your experience sharing it is really cool. So I'm just glad that status quo is status quo. Um,
You're talking about the supply stream. Well, here in
yeah,
Canada now, um, the stores are basically to the curbside thing, but prices have gone up drastically.
sure.
And
And
our prices here are usually at least half again of what they are in the US.
Jish. Yeah, I believe you. I saw Chris Carey. Hello, Chris. So good to see you. I hope you're doing well. But Chris said that he thinks most of the suppliers are chugging along the best they can. I couldn't agree more. The article I read was, aimed at feeling badly for their circumstances. It was kind of focused on like the actual um, Indonesian or whatever collectors, but it was just all around saying that, as Sam pointed out, that shipping is such an issue now, and because of bans and regulations, that it's just so much harder to get things done. So I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, I'll just share it when we're done. We can maybe talk about it some other time or not, whatever. Um, and Sam, you said that all businesses with live animals are still operating. That's good. Good to know. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Well, I'll share what I read. But if you guys have read anything or know anything, share too. Dan, anything else you wanted to share?
I'm looking at big old plumber bill in the morning.
Oh, what for?
Um, my solar hot water heater tank is, I got to replace it.
Oh my gosh, solar. Didn't you have some sort of huge problem like that a few weeks ago?
Well, no, the element went out because
Oh,
they
oh,
got element got wet, and I was relying strictly on solar, no backup, and now it's leaking to where I've got to replace the tank. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I didn't replace the element. But
Sure.
it's a $1,400 tank.
Oh, yikes. Man. So the plumber's on his way in the morning.
Yep, first thing in the morning.
Well, that stinks too. My schedule's still backwards and upside down, so I feel for you on that too. But I'm glad at least it's gonna be fixed, I guess.
Yeah, I got
I would
12
hope
years out of that tank, and that was a cheap tank. The company that did the installation didn't put in a real good tank, and the tank I'm putting in is a much higher quality. It's a stainless steel tank.
Nice, good.
So when everything is working properly, it's awesome. I mean, it's nice to be able to, I can go through most of the summer with the electricity turned off to the thing.
I know, and that's so cool. And what does it supply again? I know you just said it.
Hot water.
Okay, so literally it uses solar power, but it kind of kicks in when like it's not the sun's not out or something. Is that how's it
Well,
work?
what happens is the tank I have currently is 120 gallon. I'm dropping down to an 80 gallon because I don't have as many people in the home now.
Okay.
And um, but still, an 80-gallon tank can typically supply a household of 5 people. The when it's normally during the summer months, I can go unless there's 3 days of rain. I can survive without electricity heating it. In the winter months, I can go a day or two without sun and still be able to do it.
Wow. But so like just so I'm sorry I don't have one. I just so I understand. So if the sun's not out for 2 or 3 days, it rains and etc., then you just have to like do you plug in the electric how do you
No, well, I
or
can put the breaker
automatically?
back.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it does have the way the backup is supposed to work is if the temperature drops, then the backup kicks on.
Mm,
It's set at a lower temperature than what the tank normally stays at. But what I normally do during the summer months is just flip the breaker off and have the heating element turned off completely, unless I have 3 or 4 days in succession of rain.
gotcha. Well, it's still, I mean, it sounds so cool. I wish I could do something like that. Sounds awfully costly, but it's really helpful, right, to the environment. I mean, that's the main point.
Well, I don't know, but I guess to the environment, the reason I got it is because it saves me money long term. I don't have to pay for it. Hot water heating is one of your major costs of
Sure.
energy in a home.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're getting it fixed in the morning. Sorry you got to get up and pay for it. That really stinks. And just get through it, I guess, is all I got.
Yeah, that money was supposed to go to my bike and have
Aw.
my saddlebags and stuff on it.
Oh, man. Well, I'll talk to you on the side about that stuff later because, you know, we got to see the saddlebags and such. We got to figure it out because I just think it's so cool that you're off on that bike. I just think it's so great for you and just, it motivates people. Motivates me, anyways. I think Ray said he had to go somewhere. Let me read the comments real quick. Sam, you said your part-time cash work disappeared overnight. Lots of people are doing it hard in Australia. What? Oh, if I remember correctly, aren't you doing some sort of collecting selling? Let me know. And I'm so sorry to hear that. We were talking earlier about how even the slow reopening is really killing a lot of companies. So, yikes. I'm gonna message you on the side once we're done anyway, Sam, because I'd love to hear just how you're doing, how your aquariums are doing, what you're up to. We get off on tangents here, but I really love to hear about you guys, how each person that comes is doing, and your aquariums and seahorses and such. I got a new seahorse. My daughter's got him for me for my birthday. So, Dan, I don't know if you can see, but it's a blue stuffed seahorse. I need some more real ones. I'm kind of narrowing down and combining tanks, and I'm ready to set up a new one. I'm feeling it coming on. So maybe we'll do some new videos covering that or some specific topic interviews with you guys soon. But okay, well, yeah, like I said, I wanted to keep it short tonight. Anyways, Sam and Chris, I mentioned earlier in case you missed it, that next week we're going to try the messenger rooms. So watch for that post on my page and in Seahorse Sources group to get in there and join us and try it out with us. But Dan, did I jump forth through anything else? I don't want to go into a topic about specifics with nobody asking. So, but if there's anything you want to share, here we are. I'm gonna
I
guess.
have a question on your Facebook page.
Yes, Ray, please.
When you post something there, how can I get notification that there's been a post?
Do you follow the page?
I thought that I put follow on it, but I don't know.
Double check it. Double check it.
Yeah, you got to double check it. And often, you can like the page, but not follow it. But if you follow it, then you get the notifications. But Ray, with you, I'm gonna send you a message anyways. Don't worry. But for everybody else, check the page and check the group so that we can try to see how it goes, see if it works better, and makes people feel more comfortable. Is my main goal and thoughts. So we don't sit here and talk about coronavirus all night because I hate it too. But all right, guys. Well, Ray, I will message you any information, and thank you to everybody who came tonight. Again, anyone who watches this later, if you have Seahorse questions, you can comment during the stream or after, and we'll talk about it next week. So always do ask, and we'll see you next week. You guys say your goodbyes.
Good night.
Goodbye.
All right. Cheers. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Cheers with my little